ear. Let him hear what the Spirit says to the churches.
Amen.
See, people want to turn it off. Well, I don't want to hear that kind of stuff. I remember we went to Russia, smuggled Bibles into Russia. And Brother Humphrey, he said to me, Brother Humphrey, he said, we're going to Russia, ballet, Russia, where they dance and all this kind of stuff. Now, he knew I was a hillbilly. So he decided he's going to sit beside me and keep me in control. He didn't know what he was going to do. So he's going to keep an eye on me. They come out there and they was dancing. I knew I couldn't take too much more of this. And here Brother Humphrey fell asleep. Needless to say, I caused trouble in that place. I won't go through. But I had everybody looking. How many know? I didn't want to hear this. Doing, doing, doing. And then they're doing the... What do I want to be here for? Well, it's supposed to be, what's that high word, you know? Classical. I could care less. I'd rather get a banjo and sit on something that's doing, 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 doing. So say amen. But he that has an ear, let him hear. Verse 10. Anybody got some ears on here? Anybody where God's trying to talk to you?
Yes.
Verse 10. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience of the faith of the saints. So, how many of you know you've got to have faith and patience to receive from God? Things just keep on, keeping on, and just seems like nothing's getting any better for you. The Bible says, brethren, thinking not strange concerning the fiery trial which come upon you, which is to try you, as though some strange thing is happening to you, but rejoice and be exceeding glad.
Rejoice, yes.
Come on.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes. Rejoice in the Lord. Yes.
Verse 11. Here's where we're going to talk about the false prophet. I want you to understand the false prophet is a religious leader. And everybody believes he's going to come out of the Catholic Church. And I do too. He's going to be, how do you know there's more so-called Catholics and so-called Christians upon the face of the earth than any other denomination?
Yes, yes.
And the Pope himself is so defiled, and the Pope himself, don't have time to go through all the things he's speaking about God and the church so already, and people will believe his lies. And the one reason they're going to believe his lies because he's going to prophesy and make things happen in the heaven. He'll call fire down in heaven, speak all kinds of things, do all kinds of things, and people, oh, that has to be the anointing of God. What's Jesus say in Matthew 24? First thing is they come to Jesus to show him the building of the temple. And he said, you see not all these stones? Those shall not be left here, one stone upon another shall not be thrown down. Disciples came to their first say, disciples came to the prophet and say, tell us when shall these things be? What shall be the sign of that coming? Then in the world. First thing Jesus said, take heed no man deceive you.
Amen. Amen.
See, if you don't know the real thing, you'll be deceived. So say amen. Verse 11 says, and I, meaning John, beheld, or seen, another beast coming out of the earth, coming out of mankind. And he had two horns like a lamb. He's going to like a lamb like Jesus. He's going to look like the so-called Christian. Come on. He'll have his big robe on and he's crying and all this kind of stuff. He's going to look so godly. Somebody say amen.
Amen.
It says that I beheld another beast coming out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. Oh, he looks like a lamb, but he talks like a devil. He looks like a holy man of God. But when he opens his mouth, he talks like the devil himself. How many of people start to accept that kind of stuff? When I turn the television on and somebody makes a joke about God or anything like that, I snap it off and say, God forgive them, they don't know what they're doing. Verse 12 is very special. How many know 3 times it says caused? Caused. And what, if you don't have any objections, it says caused in verse 12 rather, verse 15 and verse 16. And how many know there's a lot of things happens and causes people to do things? You can cause an accident. How many know you can cause an accident? You can cause bad things to happen. You can cause good things to happen. It's a deliberate thing. You can cause it. This is what it says here. And he, the false prophet, exercised all the power of the first beast to the Antichrist. So the false prophet is going to exercise the same power as the Antichrist has. And he exercised all the power of the first beast of the Antichrist before him, and caused, everybody say caused, the earth and them that dwell therein to worship the first beast whose deadly wound was healed. He's going to cause people to worship the Antichrist. He will call the great assembly and say, bow down and worship him. How many of you know we can read that back through the Bible? Brother Michael, remember that back through the Bible where he set up the image and made everybody come out and caused them to bow down and worship in the book of Daniel. If you don't worship him, you're going to be thrown in the lion's den. First. So the false prophet is going to cause people to worship him. You better get down and worship him. Well, this is the high priest talking. This is the prophet talking. Because see, he's called a false prophet. So how many of you know he's going to prophesy things that's going to happen? Come close down and say, "Let fire come down out of heaven." Man, this has got to be a holy man of God. Deceived. How many know, unless you got the real thing in here, you're going to be deceived. Well, I'll take care of that when time comes. Oh, you'll take care of it all right. You'll take 666 right up to your forehead. Let's do something here. Ethel, is he still on? Yeah, he's still on. Let me know when that big mouth is off. We'll get something else on. Verse 12. And he exercised all the power of the first beast before him, and caused the earth and them that dwell therein to worship the first beast whose deadly wound was healed. How many know it tells you right there the Antichrist is going to have a deadly wound which was healed? So right there is 2 deceptions, big time deceptions. The Antichrist is killed. We don't know how long he stayed dead. He come back to life. Now the false prophet's right there with him. They say you better worship him. Come on, talk to me.
Amen.
This is not some kind of a fairy book story.
Right.
This is not something just made up and stuck in the Bible.
Amen.
This is our future newspaper.
Yes. Amen.
Back a number of years ago, I walked into a grocery store. The man had newspapers there. He said, "Free newspaper?" I said, "No." I said, "I already got the news for tomorrow." He said, "You do?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "I don't want to have news for tomorrow." I said, "I have the news for the rest of the time." He said, "What do you have?" I said, "The Bible."
All right.
So we say amen.
Amen.
I can tell you what's going to happen tomorrow. I can tell you what's going to happen in the future. I can tell you because the Bible tells me. Bible says in 2 Thessalonians, there's going to be a great falling away before the Antichrist is going to be revealed. You look at churches.
Yeah.
There's a church down the road here. That's about one of the only ones I know have church service on Sunday night anymore. Do you know any, Brother Michael? Anybody know another church that has a church service on Sunday night? I don't.
I know of
One?
Yeah.
Anybody know any churches that has big? Sister Karen, do you know some? How many you know?
4.
4? That's commendable.
4.
How many know when it comes midweek Bible study? They don't have it no more. You know why? People won't come. You know, most churches used to have Sunday school. They don't have Sunday school no more because people won't come. So what they have is a microwave quickie, a 1-hour service Sunday morning, and that's it. Sister Karen?
I visited a church and had midweek prayer and everything. It was like a Sunday morning service.
Praise God for that.
Yes.
How many knows there's still a few that has a Bible that needs a bill?
True.
Verse 13, 14, 15.
He performs great signs so that he even makes fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men, and he deceives those who dwell on the earth by those signs which he was granted to do in the sight of the beast, telling those who dwell on the earth to make an image to the beast who was wounded by the sword and lived.
Okay. Take 15 too. 15 and 16.
Okay. He was granted power to give breath to the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should speak and cause as many as would not worship the image of the beast to be killed. He causes all, both great and both small and great, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on their right hand or on their foreheads.
Okay. Verse 12 says, and he exercised all the power of the first beast before him and caused the earth. So right there it says caused. Now let's go to verse 14. It says, I'll take 13 so you get to know the whole story. And he, meaning the false prophet, does great wonders so much that he makes fire come down from heaven on the earth in sight of man, and deceive them that dwell on the face of the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, right in front of the Antichrist, saying to them that dwell on the earth and all the people, that they should make an image to the Antichrist, the beast, which had the wound by a sword and did live. Something say that. It tells you right there, he's wounded by a sword. He did live. Deadly wound. Verse 15 says, and he had power to give to the life of the image, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many should worship the beast, the image of the beast should be killed. So how do you know if you don't worship the beast, you're going to be killed? How are you going to get killed? Someone said by this beheaded. And if you don't do it, Nebuchadnezzar said to Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, you're going to cast in the fiery furnace, and then another time Daniel into the lion's den. If you don't do it, this is what's going to happen to you. And so this is exactly what the devil's saying to them. If you do not worship the Antichrist or his image that we're going to make, you're going to be beheaded. It says, and they should be killed. As many would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. Now listen to me. They're not going to come on and give you a lethal injection, put you to sleep. What a way to go. But if you're not saved, you're going to wake up in hell. It's torture. I cannot stress it enough. The torture is going to be in this thing here. Verse 16. Everything's starting to get quiet now. And he caused all. Everybody say, he caused all. He said again, he caused all,
Caused all,
both small and great. I want to see
small and great,
small and great, rich and poor,
rich and poor,
free and bond,
free and bond,
to receive a mark
to receive a mark
in their right hand
in the right hand
or in their forehead.
or in the forehead.
He's going to cause everybody to receive a mark. Next couple verses down makes it clear. It's going to be a mark, his name or number. So everybody's going to have this mark, which is 666. And if they don't take it, they're going to die. How are they going to die? They're going to get beheaded. But he's going to make them scream in pain and torture. You know that's what they did to the prisoners in the concentration camp? They tortured them so much that many of them went insane. A lot of them didn't give their life, but a lot of them couldn't take it and gave the enemy whatever he wanted. Well, I'll be one of them that he'll never make me do it. Really? Really? How you doing, Peter? Oh, I'm doing fine. Jesus said, Peter, you know before the cock crows this night you'll deny me 3 times? He said, nay, Lord. Oh, man, everybody forsake you. The rest of them, not me. I'll go to prison for you. I'll give my life for you. No, Peter. What did Peter do? Run like a chicken. And all the other 11 did. Judas hung himself. All the other 10 did likewise, forsook him. And they walked with Jesus personally 3.5 years. How can you have a love affair with somebody you don't spend time with?
Yes.
You know, you hear about somebody's daughter or son die and so forth, you say, that's a shame, that's sad. And that's all basically it is to you. But if it's one of your own kids or one of your own family, somebody, it's a different story then. Somebody say amen. Satan knows how to make you do what he wants to do. See, if you take 666, somebody people say, well, I'll take the 666, and then later on, I'll say, I didn't mean it. No, if you take it, you're doomed.
That's right.
I had a man working for me. He had 666 on his arm. He's a regular little devil. He's a good mechanic and stuff. We worked between up in New Jersey. I had to drive about 5 hours. And one of my work trucks, on the pumpkin underneath where the wheels are, he crawled underneath it and wrote 666. People was going up the road past him and so forth and pointing. I thought, what are they pointing at? When I got to the job, I started looking around the truck, I seen that. He could just thank God that I was a Christian. Because if it wasn't, the old Philistine, Humphrey, would have probably killed him right there. But guess what he did? I didn't have to do it. He committed suicide. How many of you know 666 is of the devil? And once you give your soul to the devil, he's got you. He caused all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in the right hand or in the forehead. Verse 16. Seventeen says, Brother Mark, read 17, 18 for me.
Sure. And that no one may buy or sell except one who has the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him who has understanding calculate the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man.
Now listen. How many of you know, it makes something very clear here, and that no man might buy or sell, save, that means except he had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Let's break it down here. How many of you know they just opened up a Sam's Club in Hanover? you can't even get nowhere near that place. I don't know how many cars, but it's parked one to another. You know why people go in there buy and sell? But if you don't have that name or the number or the mark, you can't buy or sell. Your credit card's no good, nothing's good for you.
You're right.
He said that no man might buy or sell save except he have the mark. How many know what the mark is? They believe it's the computer mark, the barcode. Whether it is, I don't know, but it's some kind of a mark. It's not 666, but it's a mark. It's a mark of the devil. Or his name. How many know you're going to have that mark, which is of the devil, or you're going to have the name of the Antichrist on your hand, your forehead. For example, let's say it was Hitler, which is not. You'd have Hitler's mark, which would be like a swastika on your hand, or his name, Hitler, on your forehead, or the number, 666. Someone say amen.
Amen.
We're closing here in just a couple minutes. Oh, God. See, that's why I don't want to go to this kind of service. You walk in, you're feeling halfway decent. By the time you walk out, you're feeling bad. Goody, 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 goody. It's time that we start to feel bad inside for the world, the soul. So we say, amen. We need to have compassion for one another. We need to tell one another. Somebody say amen to it.
Amen.
Verse 17, that no man might buy or sell except he had the mark or the name or the number of the beast. Here is wisdom. Let him that understands count the number of the beast, the Antichrist, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. 666. I want to talk to people around the world, no matter who you are. Not bragging or anything, but my Bible is so wore out, especially the book of Revelations, that you can hardly read it. Notes and marks and all this and that. But it's time that we start to wake up and understand this is going to come to pass.
Amen. Amen.
Somebody say, this is going to come to pass.
This is going to come to pass.
It's going to come to pass. As sure as there's a God in heaven, it's going to come to pass. How many know, when it's over and done, we'll find out who really loves God. We'll find out who really loves Jesus. We'll find out who really loves the Holy Ghost. We'll find out who's being serious. Y'all come up with excuses why you can't go to church or I got to go to work. Jesus talks about that. He said when they bid him to come to the supper, they all began with one excuse. There's three different excuses. One says, please excuse me, I bought a yoke of oxen. I'm going to go try them out. I'm going to see how these oxen works. You can say today, my tractor. Another said, I bought a field. I'm going to go see my field. He bought a field, he didn't know what it looked like. Then the top of them was, I married a wife. I've heard people say, I can't come, I have to ask my wife what she wants to do. What do you want to do, honey? Do you want to go to church? No? Okay, we won't go. It's excuses. See, when this rapture thing does take place, very few's going to go. Straight and narrow is the gate that leads to life, and very few be able to find it. But broad and wide is the gate that leads to destruction, and many will go there. I want to encourage every one of you. I told my wife the other day, maybe many years ago, maybe I might have been compromised or something because we got letters and calls and pictures and all kinds of people all around the world. The ministry here, I don't think we ever get anything. Do we ever get anything? People act like they don't want to know you. But could you at least write a letter or call us and say, you didn't like it or liked it or something, let us know you're there. So amen.
Amen.
Yes.
Write us a letter, send us a picture, give us a picture, and we'll pray across it. We have prayer every time we get together. We'll pray, we'll lay hands on them. So amen.
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 None of us in here takes an offering and use it for running money. We take that offering and we put it back in television time for around the world. So amen.
Amen.
So we're not in here trying to lift up our name, but the name of Jesus.
Yes.
We love you.
Amen.
May God bless you. I'm going to tell you one quick story. A number of years ago, I was talking to my daughter. I have a grandson, his name's Chad. This is when he's still home. My daughter loves Chaddy, my grandson. I was telling her about 666. And I was telling her what we talked about here, that how they're going to be tortured. I said, Sherry, what would you do if they had Chad, and they had Chad laying down and get ready to chop his head off? I said, we'll spare his life if you'll take 666. What would you do, Chad? And she broke into crying, Daddy, don't do that, don't do that. I said, think about it. How many of us in here, if one of our loved ones was ready to chop their head off, before they chop their head off, torture them, unbelievable. And all you have to do is say, I'll take 666. Would you take 666? Or would you let one of your loved ones die that horrible death? That's what happened in the concentration camps with Hitler. They had to watch the loved ones being burned alive, not necessarily alive, but burned in the ovens, starved to death. We love you. You see, I like Donald Trump. You know why I like Donald Trump? He tells it as it is. He tells it as it is.
Yes, he does. He speaks what's on his mind.
He tells it as it is.
And they speak.
You're the kind of doctor I like, one that tells you as it is. You know the kind of preacher I like, one that tells you like it is. Can we, here at this measure, be somebody who just tell you as it is because we love you?
Amen.
We love you. God bless you.
Amen.
Welcome. This is Sister Joan, Secretary for Upper Room Ministry. You can see the rest of this message each Sunday evening, your local time. If you would like to receive our monthly newsletter and know the things the Lord is speaking to Prophet Humphrey, then please send a love offering to help cover our expenses. Also, if you would like to have an anointed prayer cloth and become a ministry partner, send us your pictures so we can pray, lay hands on you and your need, and expect signs, wonders, and miracles in your life. Starting today, you will never be the same. Our website is upperroomministry.net. If you would like to schedule a speaking engagement, contact our ministry. All glory to Jesus. Amen. Amen.